Chers auditeurs,
dear listeners,
bonjour.
welcome to Comme d'Archi Podcast Season 6.
Saison 6, dans le monde fascinant des architectes.
And in the architectural projects.
Je suis Anne-Charlotte Deponte, passionnée d'architecture et docteur des universités en histoire de l'archi.
I am one of the spokespersons of Anne-Charlotte, who is a PhD in architecture history.
Merci.
Thank you.
D'être avec moi aujourd'hui.
To be with us today.
Et
And
maintenant,
now,
lundi en français, place au talent.
and Wednesday, let's talk projects. In English, of course.
Bienvenue dans Comme d'Archi.
Dear listeners, good morning. This is Esther on behalf of Anne-Charlotte. It's good to meet you again in Season 6 of Comme d'Archi with a presentation by the DOD office about their project Château de Cieurac, a 5-star hotel in France. Here we ask the question, how to design this kind of project in a time of climate change. But first, a few words about the DOD office. Based in Bernay, Normandy, France, but also in the 8th arrondissement of Paris, the DOD Architect Agency, founded and managed by David Olivier Descombes, today comprises a team of 12 people, architects, interior designers, site manager, and administrative assistant. This agency configuration enables us to respond to any type of program in France. We support our clients from construction to interior design. Now the project. Perched on a rocky outcrop overlooking the Dordogne and nestled in a 5-hectare balcony park, Château de Cieurac is a powerful feature of the valley's landscape. While the chateau's origins date back to the 14th century, its current structure is more recent, having been rebuilt at the end of the 19th century following a fire in 1882. Today, the site is updating its history to become a 42-room hotel and spa. The aim of the project is to restore the historic complex, but also to build a contemporary structure in the park on the edge of the property and sitting on the rampart. This duality between renovation and construction is a wonderful opportunity for us to express our expertise, since it involves accompanying our customers from construction to decoration. We are meticulously refurbishing the 850 square meters of the chateau, spread over 5 levels, to house not only essential technical equipment, but also, and above all, 12 superb suites. While their fittings and equipment are entirely contemporary, the decor discreetly reinterprets the historicism of the building's architecture. Brightly colored fabrics, leathers, marbles, and brass rub shoulders with stone, moldings, and sandblasted woodwork in a subtle dialogue punctuated by soft lighting and wall frames. The first floor, meanwhile, is organized around a bar whose incandescent amber onyx illuminates the chateau's historic entrance, now a lobby. The preserved and renovated volumes on this level also house the hotel's restaurant and cozy lounges. Spaces accessible to the public offer exclusively framed views of the Dordogne Valley and the park on the balcony. This relationship between the building's occupants and the natural environment reaches its climax at the top of the chateau, 30 meters above the Dordogne, with the creation of an 80 square meters accessible roof terrace offering panoramic views. Close to the chateau, sheltered by 2 large lime trees, the 250 square meters barn will now house the hotel's reception and 4 bedrooms. To complete the chateau's hotel experience, increase the number of beds, and create a spa, a new 1,500 square meters, 2-story building will be erected on the ramparts surrounding the park. While the chateau's architecture is relatively slender and powerful, the new building is more streamlined and sober. The color of the concrete dialogues with that of the stone, and the geometry of the chestnut shingles with that of the slate. On the one hand, our intention is to establish a dialogue between 2 architectures from different eras. notably in terms of the nobility of their construction materials and the rampart base on which they both rest. However, while the chateau is physically anchored to the rampart, since it forms part of its basement, our building only skims the surface. It is built in line with it, but cantilevered 50 centimeters above its head. Illuminated at night, this hollow joint will become a luminous signature that can be recognized by everyone in the distance, fully confirming our intention to draw attention to the respectful distance we have established between the existing and the project. Inside, the contrast with the chateau's suites is absolute. Wood and concrete interact in much steeper spaces, giving the 26 rooms a resolutely contemporary character, even though they all face the surrounding countryside, behind large fixed frames that become veritable canvases. In keeping with this architectural style, a 350 square meter spa is located on the first floor of the building. It will offer users a unique experience with a sensory pool facing breathtaking views over the valley. It also provides several gentle transitions on the site. Firstly, between the outdoor pool, which enjoys views over the park, and the indoor pool, which enjoys views over the valley. Secondly, between the original building and the new one. Notably, via the terrace adjoining it and the hotel restaurant. And thirdly, via its access, which is not reserved exclusively for hotel guests, just like the restaurant and the park. This project brings together a contemporary building with minimalist rooms where every opening frames a sublime landscape, and a neo-Gothic chateau where every detail tells a story. This is the answer of the DOD office between the richness of the history and the possibilities of a new, more sober life. Dear listeners, thank you for tuning in. Let's meet again next week for a new Comme d'Archi in English. And until then, take care of yourselves. Goodbye.
Thank you for listening, and thanks to the sound engineer who was collaborating with us today. Don't forget to tune in to our previews on Instagram at Comme d'Archi Podcast. If you enjoy this podcast, don't hesitate to promote it by giving it 5 stars and a little comment on Apple Podcast or on your favorite podcast platform. And above all, subscribe to listen to all of our episodes for free. See you soon, and until then, take care of yourself.